Princess Anne has astonished fans with her legendary work ethic while on a swift 3-day trip on the anniversary of her father's death on Saturday, April the 9th. The 71-year-old Princess Royal was declared the hardest working royal last year, and she shows no signs of slowing down, especially as her 95-year-old mother, Queen Elizabeth II, is increasingly pulling out of engagements due to ailing health. As she prepares to set off home from a whirlwind trip to mark her mother's historic Platinum Jubilee to Australia and Papua New Guinea, the princess has travelled almost 25,000 miles on commercial airlines in less than a week, packed in more than 20 engagements over 4 days without a single evening off, and even led the way staying in £185 a night hotels. Beside her husband, Vice Admiral Sir Tim Lawrence, and security detail, she has done her own hair, makeup, and even packed her own suitcase. Famously direct, Anne has always been the child most like her parents, getting stuck in with minimal fuss. The Queen's personal representative at state and ceremonial engagements, performing investitures and supporting over 300 charitable organisations and military regiments, she is 5 years past the formal retirement age. She was asked to represent the Queen by visiting Australia and Papua New Guinea, where her mum is still the head of state, to commemorate the monarch's historic 70 years on the throne. Her trip started last Thursday after a full day of engagements in Liverpool. She travelled by helicopter back to London, where she boarded a commercial flight to Sydney at Heathrow. Despite her trips being less publicised than other senior royals, she had no dressers, tour organisers or personal aides. Anne and her husband arrived in Sydney at 5 a.m. on Saturday after flying non-stop from London. She had hardly enough time to shower and change at her hotel, the Pullman Olympic Park, where accommodation starts at £228 per night. By 9:30 a.m, she had an audience with the Governor of New South Wales, followed by a meeting with the Governor-General and the Queen's official representative in Australia, General David John Hurley. She spent the rest of the day from 11:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. at the Royal Agricultural Society of NSW's bicentennial Sydney Royal Easter Show. There, she officially opened the show as it celebrated its 200th anniversary. To pay tribute to her late father on the very day of his death, Anne appeared with a mint green hat and long coat that matched a darker green dress with flat shoes and black gloves. Fans praised the royals' elegant look as she met with stallholders to learn about the environmental challenges they face after droughts and floods. The annual Easter event, hosted by the Royal Agricultural Society of New South Wales, showcases the best produce, livestock, crafts and skills from regional communities. Princess Anne famously has a passion for agriculture and horses after becoming the first royal to become an Olympian after competing in an equestrian event in 1976. She presented rosettes to riders who were taking part in a Riding for the Disabled Association of Australia display at the show. That evening, she also attended a dinner at Sydney Olympic Park as guest of honour. The next day was as torturous as she met with rural fire department representatives and witnessed the recent bushfires and floods. After visiting the Sea Heritage Foundation in the afternoon, she concluded her day with an investiture and a garden party with representatives from several of the charities she is patron of. Monday saw Anne pack in engagements in both Sydney, where she undertook military engagements and inspected a Guard of Honour, and Papua New Guinea, where she met the nation's Prime Minister, His Excellency the Honourable James McCrape, and attended a reception with business leaders and politicians. Her day still wasn't done, as she also had a dinner with the Prime Minister and representatives from across the country's government. On Tuesday, her last day, saw the Princess Royal thunder through 8 official engagements, including a visit to an all-girls boarding school and the country's first cardiac diagnostic centre, as well as meeting with village elders in Hana Ubaba and undertaking a tour of the Bumana War Cemetery to lay a wreath on behalf of the Queen in honour of the 3,824 Commonwealth soldiers buried there. After a late dinner with the Prime Minister and leaders of charities, her final engagement, the princess, who had barely enough time to sleep at her £185 a night hotel before taking a connecting aircraft back to Sydney and then to the UK. While the pensioner princess is widely respected by palace staff for her astonishing workload, the punishing schedule of her latest trip has left them lost in admiration. Many fans took to Instagram to express their thanks and gratitude to the Princess Royal for her trip. One user said, "It's lovely to see Princess Anne in Australia for the Platinum Jubilee, such a huge asset to the royal family." Among many comments of heart and fire emojis and much praise for her work ethic, another fan added, "Love this hard-working woman." Supporters noted that the royal appeared relaxed and happy during her visit, and one even noted their preference of Anne over her brother Prince Charles. They said, "The Princess Royal is so down to earth and is the busiest one. I certainly like her more than Charles."